My name is Thomas and today I'm tinkering on this all-new redesigned 2020 Nissan Sentra. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Let's get right into the information. To start off with, if you're a hardcore Sentra fan, this vehicle to you is known as the B18. B1 representing Sentra and the 8 representing the generation that it's on. And the Sentra has survived all the way from B11, or the first generation of the Sentra, to this, the all-new, completely redesigned, highly anticipated 2020 Nissan Sentra. For this redesign, Nissan threw everything out the window and started right from scratch. This is one of the biggest changes they wanted to make to their vehicle lineup for 2020, and in fact it was. Out of all the vehicles that they've made any changes to, this has been the most drastic. The Qashqai, or the Rogue Sport if you're watching this from the States, got a facelift. The Titan is getting some fancy new features. The Frontier got a new powertrain, but this has been completely reimagined. Of course, it still has the signature chrome V-shaped grille border that Nissan has nicknamed the V-Motion grille. And the new sporty styling of the Sentra is heavily influenced by the Nissan Altima, aka the Sentra's older brother. In fact, the Sentra and the Altima are very similar. The Sentra is just a compact budget version. And it's much the same on the inside of the Sentra as well. This screen, for example, is almost identical to the one that's inside of the Altima. There's also an updated steering wheel, and of course you have all the buttons right here you need, but there's one thing in here that's different that I've never seen Nissan do before, and that is these 3 vents right here. When I saw these air vents, the first thing that I thought was Mercedes, because this is what they've done quite a lot in the past with their vehicles. This type of air vent was inspired by the GT-R air vents, but in this configuration that they're using, it is unmistakably Mercedes inspired as well. One thing on here though that's very cool is this knob in the middle. If you turn it to the right, that means the vents closed, and if you turn it back to the center, that means the vents opened again, and you know that because of that line at the top. It makes it look like a power symbol. Very clever, Nissan, very clever. Of course, I've got my push start button right here, and just like the Altima, these knobs for the dual zone automatic climate control are probably a couple of the most satisfying knobs inside of a vehicle that have ever existed. Beyond that, there's also USB Type A and Type C connectivity, and last but not least, there are these squared off carbon fiber covered cup holders. There are 5 trim levels for the 2020 Nissan Sentra. The first being the S, then the S Plus, the SV, the SR, and last but not least, the SR Premium. And while the SR Premium has lovely features like orange stitching, the intelligent around view monitor, LED headlights, as well as a Bose sound system, today I have with me the SV, the happy medium Sentra. And the reason being is because according to the numbers, 70% of those who do end up buying a Sentra are going to get the SV. And the reason I think is because this is the best bang for your buck at the end of the day. This comes with all the features you need, some of the features you want, and is a really, really good price. And just to name a few of the features that the SV trim level comes with, there is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, these 16-inch rims, intelligent cruise control, as I've already mentioned, dual zone automatic climate control, heated seats, and Nissan's intelligent key that activates your easy entrance and exit, as well as your remote start system. But remember, those are just a few of the optional features that come with the SV trim. You'll already be getting the standard features like the push start button, backup camera, and the tire pressure monitoring system that all come on the base S model. And this redesign keeps on giving because we also have a new engine. Yes, you still have to lift the hood manually, but this is a 2-liter inline-4 engine that is putting out 149 horsepower and 146 pound-foot of torque, which is an improvement over the 1.8-liter. It's getting 25 more horsepower, and on top of that, it's better on gas. So it's a win-win. You can't go wrong with this new engine. It's getting 47 miles per gallon, which is 2 better than the old engine getting us 45. And just like most Nissans nowadays, this also has the CVT, or continuously variable transmission, unless you go for the base S model, and then you'll get a 6-speed manual transmission. And then of course from there, all the power goes to the front wheels, as this is a front-wheel drive vehicle. Now I want to touch on the Sentra community because it's bigger than you might actually think, but before I do, I wanted to say a massive thank you to you, the viewer, for stopping by my channel. I don't say this enough, but I appreciate every single one of you for supporting my content, and believe it or not, these videos take more than 30 hours to put together, hence why I upload around once a week. So if you haven't already, mash that subscribe button like you'd mash the pedal on a 300 horsepower Sentra, because once we hit 10,000 subscribers, I have a special secret surprise. And once we hit 100,000, I'm going to be shaving all of the hair off of the top of my head and donating it. Especially since, according to YouTube analytics, over 98% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed to the channel. Again, thank you for watching. Let's talk about the Sentra community. The Sentra community is very impressive, and they've done almost every modification you can imagine to each of the 7 generations. And now that we have the 8th generation, I think it's going to fit in very nicely because this car is begging to be modified. Nissan still kept things simple, so you can have some fun and make this car your own. The only thing is I'd be wary of adding too much power to the Sentra before changing out the stock CVT transmission. And the reason being is while the CVT is going to handle the power the Sentra has stock, I feel like if you add too much, it's going to drastically shorten the lifespan of this transmission. Apart from that, go wild, because I think that the Sentra just needs a little bit more power to become a very fun daily driver, as it already does everything else so well. Now, as this has the automatic transmission, I also get Eco Mode and Sport Mode. Eco Mode is a button to the left-hand side of the steering wheel, and Sport Mode is activated by a small button on the bottom of the shifter handle. Now, sadly, Sport Mode doesn't give you more power magically. I wish that was true, and Eco Mode doesn't necessarily take away power. You still have 149 horsepower at your disposal, but it just changes how your throttle responds to your foot, and it also changes how your transmission handles that power by either upshifting or downshifting. I gotta hand it to Nissan though, they've done a fantastic job of redesigning the Sentra. Everything I'm looking at on the inside of this just screams luxury, from the Mercedes styled air vents to the screen to the new steering wheel. I love all of it. So for less than $20,000, they've made a car feel luxurious, but does it drive very well? The short answer is yes. It's got fantastic ride quality. It does have a firmer suspension, sharper handling, and sharper braking, but I think that's all just to make it feel a bit sportier. I wouldn't buy this car for its speed. I wouldn't say 149 horsepower is going to slingshot this down a quarter mile in 10 seconds, but it gets the job done. And at the end of the day, the extra 25 horsepower that you get with this engine is a noticeable improvement over the last generation. Also, the new lower and wider body paired with the dual pinion electric power steering do a fantastic job of minimizing body roll. The Nissan Sentra has some tough competition like the Toyota Corolla, Chevrolet Cruze, along with a number of others, but it's proven itself to be a true contender. Let's break down how and talk about some of the pros. The first thing is Nissan wanted this to be one of the safest cars on the road, even though it's smaller than most of the other vehicles. So to achieve that, they put 10 airbags on board, and there are also more safety systems on the 2020 Nissan Sentra than I think I can say in one breath, but we're going to put that to the test. Intelligent forward collision warning, intelligent emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alert, rear view monitor, rear sonar system, rear intelligent emergency braking, intelligent engine braking, intelligent ride control, intelligent trace control, hill start assist, high beam assist, auto headlights, Nissan vehicle immobilizer system, intelligent driver alertness. And those are all standard on the 2020 Nissan Sentra. One of the coolest and newest safety systems is the steering wheel will vibrate if it finds you going over one of the lines on either side of you, just to alert you. As for the cons, there are 3 main things for me. The largest of them all being the fact that I can't sit up straight in the back. I also find myself bumping my head when I'm getting into the driver's seat more times than I would like. Although I am 6'4", so this isn't an issue that everyone's gonna have. And secondly, the blind spots did catch my eye, and while yes, technically every car has blind spots, they're definitely suboptimal in the Sentra. So it's a good thing that Nissan has put all those safety systems and a camera on board. But to be fair, both of those complaints are typical of cars this size and would also count for the Sentra's competition. And last but not least, to finish up the cons, very similar to my last video when I was talking about the 2020 facelifted Nissan Qashqai, I think that LED headlights should be more widely available. It's such affordable and available technology, especially now in 2020, though I think we should be putting them standard on every vehicle instead of using these halogens, because LEDs are so much better at nighttime, especially if you're doing any out-of-city driving at nighttime. They make the world of difference. But with the Qashqai and here with the Sentra, you have to pay top dollar and get the most expensive version of both vehicles if you want to have that feature. So who should buy the redesigned 2020 Nissan Sentra? Well, if you're looking for the latest compact sedan that's fun, small, modern, and has a sporty feel, then I don't know what you're waiting for. But almost more importantly, if you're a Sentra fan or a previous owner of a Sentra and you're looking for a new ride, then I'm going to highly recommend that you go for a test drive, because I can almost promise you that what Nissan has done with the 8th generation is going to put a massive smile on your face. And to conclude everything, I want to go for my thoughts and opinion of the redesigned 2020 Nissan Sentra. But first, I want to take a step backwards and talk about the 7th generation, the one just before this one in front of me here. And I gotta say, it was very tasteless. There was nothing about that car that was desirable. It was very plasticky, it felt very cheap, and it just wasn't a car that I felt enticed to buy if I had that budget and was after a car like that. There were many other options out there that were doing a better job. But now this has come along and blown me away. They've done a full 360. They changed my mind on what I thought the Sentra was or what it could be, and they've done an amazing job of redesigning this car. And I can happily say that this compact sedan is one of the best vehicles in 2020 you can buy brand new for less than $20,000, whether it's the base manual S model, the best-selling SV, or the top-of-the-line SR premium version. And I did check one of those out, and I gotta say, they are so cool. For what is already a new sporty car, I feel like that just adds another layer to it, especially the orange stitching. But there is one thing for sure, and that is if you have a 7th gen Sentra, you are now gonna have a very, very tough time selling it now that this bad boy is out, because there is no comparing the two. They are miles and miles apart. But that is everything from me. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of the future videos. Of course, a huge thank you to Fish Creek Nissan who lent me this gorgeous compact sedan, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Kind of surprised myself there. I did it all in one breath. Well, in order to get those slow motion shots of the rims spinning, I had to get the car stuck, and now I can't get it unstuck. Yeah, thanks man, I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, no worries. I put it into low, and then just nice and gentle. Oh, this is a really soft back here. Almost there! Come on! Yeah! Come on! Come on! Yeah! One more. Go! There we go! Yes! It really didn't take much to get the Sentra stuck, so maybe I don't recommend this as a full-on winter vehicle. That is not a lot of snow and it got stuck. When your brother shows up and you're shooting, what do you want?
Hi.
Hi. You picked excellent timing.